push me too high. Whoa! Whoa! Not any higher. Oh, it goes down. You can push me. Don't push me too high. Whoa! Whoa! Not any higher or it will definitely scare me too much.
Okay.
Look at me.
Yeah. A beautiful sky today. I was just out here watering and thought I'd work on a little tour for you. As you can see, I still have some things to get in the ground for the garden, and then there's a lot of extra. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna fit all of this or give some of it away, or we'll see. Dan just got home. So here's our garden space off the back of the house. So far we have 6 beds, and our plan is to do 8. So we start out here with a bunch of tomatoes. These are Brandywine tomatoes. They're the ones that are doing the best right now. These 2 squares, brown tomatoes from Dan's grandpa, if you remember those from last year. These are Cherokee tomatoes, purple Cherokee. And then these are butternut squash that I'm going to have trellising on each side. These are also butternut squash. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants of cherry tomatoes, because we loved all the cherry tomatoes last year. And then we have corn all along the end. This one.
Mama!
Ezra! What you doing, bub? I have some dinner inside for you if you're hungry.
Fell
Oh, you
on
did?
the sidewalk, and look what happened.
Yeah. Got scraped?
Actually,
Yeah.
shin got off.
So here, going to go up this trellis is cucumbers, and then 2 rows of broccoli, and I think I stuck maybe a cauliflower in here, but I actually might pull it and put something else. My cold hardies didn't do very well, like starting inside this year. So, and then a row of leeks and another cauliflower. And this whole area is carrots. So on the other side of this trellis, we have peas that are coming up, starting to blossom, and radishes. I have some red, what are they, cherry radishes, and then another one, the other ones are purple, I think. And then this is a whole row of kale. So one of them is dinosaur kale, and the other is Russian kale, red Russian. And then this row here is all collard greens. That's arugula back there that's already started to go to flower. And then we have chard, 2 squares of chard, and these this is a mixed lettuce. Thank you, dear.
Yummy.
Yeah. Chicken tea? Like, what would you call it? Manure tea?
Sure.
This whole row has beets, and then I believe this is cabbage. Or I did 1 row of cabbage. Maybe this is cabbage and 2 of cauliflower. So I think I did things kind of alphabetically. And we don't eat as much cabbage as we do cauliflower anyway. So these, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 more tomatoes. These are Paul Robeson tomatoes. And then I have 2 rows of bell peppers, which are not doing well at all. I think I started with old seeds, and they didn't germinate at all. And so then I found where I had saved seeds from last year, and I put those in the ground instead, but yeah, they're just slow going. I think those 2 spots over there don't have anything growing up yet. And then I have a row of okra and a row of jalapeno peppers, and jalapenos are the same story as the bell peppers. They were old seeds, and I actually didn't save any seeds from last year, so I might just end up planting something else in that row. These are bush beans that are very yellow and getting eaten for some reason, along with pole beans. We've checked the pH of our soil, and it seems to be okay, but that's why we're gonna put the manure tea on it, whatever you want to call it. This here is a lima bean, because Dan had lima beans growing up with his grandma and really enjoyed them. For some reason these leaves are not looking great either, but this is going to trellis up the other side here. And then I have acorn squash, yellow squash, crookneck, and then 4 zucchini plants. And they're already starting to get their flowers. So this bed down here, we're gonna have one here and then one on the other side. I have watermelons and cantaloupes yet to plant, and then whatever else I want to fit. Obviously the melons are gonna take up a lot of space, so I'll have to see what I think I can fit. And then we do have these 2 smaller beds up here too. They're 2x8 instead of 4x8. We were originally going to do cold frames, but we didn't get them done in time for when it was cold this year. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some extra things in there from the porch and see how we use them after that. All right, so we'll go check out the backyard. This is going to be our rain barrel. And when we bought this house, the backyard was pretty trashed. So it's come a long way, but there are still some things that we need to take care of. Like there's this big tire here. I don't know. Maybe a potential little flower area or something. And we now have our chickens here. We have our older hens left, the ones that are probably 2 years old now. They're our original flock, and Rue, as you can see. Yeah, we know, you're the protector. So I think Dan counted 12 or 13 of the original hens left. Maybe it was 12 hens and plus Rue makes 13. Anyway, we also put our little pullets out here. They are, let's see, I guess they're 5 weeks old now, because our little ones that were just born or hatched last week, they're now a week old, which makes these 4 weeks. Okay, so there are 16 of those out here. We know there's at least one rooster in the bunch. That little one right there, that's a light colored barred rock. Hey, Rubu. We did sell off the rest of our barred rocks that were Rue's gals. Now we have the little ones to take over. So this, our yard otherwise, see we have our 2 outbuildings. It goes all the way back here. I think we have, is it like 3/4 of an acre or an acre? I'd have to double check with Dan total. And this got a bit overgrown. I'm not sure what they had going on here. But like I said, when we bought this house, the previous owner kind of ran a body shop out of this garage, and so there were just cars lined up taking a lot of space, and we didn't want to do the garden back here. First of all, because we wanted to do something on a smaller scale, and secondly because we really don't know what's in this soil from all the cars that were sitting here and draining who knows what. So backyard is very nice if we decide to do something more back here. We put up a couple swings for Ezra. And then behind us is a field that's owned by a farmer in the area. Another thing about this space back here is that you see it does have a lot of shade. That was another factor for the garden. burn pile back here. So this is the edge of our property over here. This is a spot that does get a lot of light throughout the day. So if we, like, I mean, right now it's shady, but compared to those spaces over there, this is much more open tree-wise. So if we did want to do more garden space back here or plant something back here, this would be a good spot. And then we just have this lane on the other side of the outbuildings. So this is a pretty nice garage. And then this building, we were told, used to be like a furniture store. This property was actually, well, I guess it still is. It is zoned half commercial, or it's zoned commercially, but has I don't even know what it's called, residence exemption or whatever. So yeah, I think this used to be a furniture store, and now there's nothing really in it's storage at the moment. We want to clean it up and make something out of it potentially. Oh, and then I have some more things over here. So I did all flowers along the wall. So I have a combination of sunflowers that I planted from seed with calendula and chamomile. They go all the way to the end here. This is the last little chamomile. It looks like, yeah, there's a sunflower coming up there. This is sage that was from last year, and something ate the bag of it while it was at Grandpa's house where we used to live. So we have all the extra plants there, and then along this wall I did the same thing with calendula and let's see, sunflower, calendula, and chamomile. All along the wall here I put my zinnias. And so the zinnias go all the way up, and they should be colorful and pretty. And then I had some extra calendula and chamomile that I put up here, but I'm not sure how they're gonna do up here because they only get sun in the morning. Oh, I forgot all about the pots. I started new seeds of basil, holy basil, peppermint, and green onions. And we'll see what happens with those. So thanks for coming along on the tour. It was fun.